understand, when it comes to international trade, these instruments are used a lot. Take, for example, corn. Corn is something that is used a lot when it comes to international trade, export, import, and all that, right? So that is why there exists a market on the global financial market, or on your chart. There exists a market for corn where you can trace the prices of these assets. You understand? Hey, you can trace the prices of the asset. You can look at what you expect the market to do your analysis like we are about to do right now. Okay, so let's look at this. This is corn on the daily time frame. You notice that on the daily time frame, corn is actually on an uptrend, and that is not out of place, because, and that is that most of these assets, especially agro commodities, are really affected by weather. Okay, most of these assets, so most time you find that during the dry season, okay, during the dry season, you actually find the price of corn, or the price of this asset, grow or rise, because something like corn now is usually scarce during the dry season. Okay, and because of that scarcity, the value increases. Because of the scarcity, value increases, and that's why you would see around this place, you can see how right from August, around August, corn has actually been on an uptrend, even on the daily time frame. Do you understand? So on the daily time frame, you see how corn has been able to make highs, higher highs, and higher lows generally. You understand? So many of them and when you're looking at the season, you're looking at the season of the market. Okay, you have to also be you have to be uh um um it's not just about Nigeria. Do you understand? It's not about Nigeria. Okay, I'm trying to pull up the world's six biggest corn producing firm. Let me share with us. And that's what some people miss out on, those information that they need to look out on. Okay, to check. Look at this. The top producers of corn by individual country. Number one is the US. Number one is the US. Number two is China, Brazil, Argentina, Ukraine, and India. So you have US, China, Brazil, Argentina. So when you're talking about the seasons, okay, looking at the seasons, you need to be concerned about the seasons of and the production of these six ones, because they're the biggest corn producers. Okay, so you want to be concerned with China, you want to be concerned with US, you want to be concerned with China, you want to be concerned with Brazil, you want to be concerned with Ukraine, with Argentina also. That is why during the Russia-Ukraine problem, you see how the price of corn and the price of wheat went all the way up, until when they now agreed, they had a deal, even among the world, they had a deal to allow grains to be shipped and all that, right? So that is one. So if you're a corn trader, you need to understand that a lot of what happens to the price of corn is shaped by these six countries, because they are the biggest. They are the biggest. Okay, you can even check the world top 10. Apart from Ukraine, you also have Mexico, you have South Africa, you have Canada, right? You understand? So these are examples. Let's go back to our chart to try and see the performance and the behavior of corn over time. Okay. Now, where we have in our chart here is the behavior of corn on the daily time frame. Okay, the behavior, the performance of corn on the daily time frame. Now, let's zoom in a bit. We've noticed that this is an uptrend that corn is doing. So that means that we expect price to be able to do what? To make bullish moves. We expect price to be able to make bullish moves. But what has happened, or what we have noticed, is that price has recently cleared some level of highs when it comes to the price of corn. Price has cleared some level of high. If you see what corn does, you find out that after corn makes a push up, it makes some level of retracement, makes a push up, makes some level of retracement, makes a push up, makes a level of retracement, right? It has made another push up. So we normally look out for, and for those persons who have joined our classes on market structure on fair value gap and all that, you would see some level of behavior, right? Now, let's talk about, you see, when it comes to some of these instruments, something like corn, for example, something like corn on a standard lot, on one standard lot, I'm talking about in Naira, on one standard lot, profit per pip for corn is over 700,000. Profit per pip for corn, one standard lot is over, for wheat is around 600,000 on a standard lot. So on a standard lot, for example, something like Euro USD, which is a currency, one pip standard lot is $10, right? $10. And so we're talking about around 16,000 or thereabout. Okay. But one standard lot for corn, one standard lot is over 700,000 naira. So that is why, as amazing as that sound, it also means that you need a lot more amount of money to trade corn, right? While you may be able to easily trade corn, trade currencies with maybe 100,000 naira. If you're trading corn, you're analyzing corn, whatever, you want to be, you want to be looking at trading with millions. You understand? Millions, at least 2 million, 3 million. And the truth is that if you're trading with that volume of money, you can actually get very good rewarded you can actually get rewarded if you follow proper practice. Now, we're analyzing something. We said, we notice that anytime corn push to the upside, corn returns to fill most of the fair value gaps around that zone. And now let's start from here. Let's start from here. I will try and map out some of those fair value gaps, right? When corn kind of broke above this place here, when corn broke above this zone here, corn created a fair value gap in itself. Look at it. There's a fair value gap here. For those persons who do not know about fair value gap, we had a session about a couple of months ago, and we'll be looking at it, very soon when our SMC class resumes. So don't worry about that. But this gap here, you had corn returning to that place before pushing back to the upside, right? Now, when corn broke above this zone again, look at the zone I'm talking about. When corn broke above this zone to the upside again, corn also still found a way to return and clear fair value gaps. Look at what he did. Return to clear fair value gap before it pushed to the way up, right? When it still broke this zone, and that's a pattern that will let us know what we are expecting from corn. Okay, when price was able to break above this side, price retraced to clear any fair value gap around that place before it pushes up. So we notice that anytime corn, most recently since October, okay, especially on our 4 hours time frame like this, anytime corn clears a new high, corn tries to like make some level of retracement, look out for some fair value gap zones where it will return to push up. So what does that mean? Having seen that, having noticed that, and seeing where corn is right now, having seen that corn has cleared another high. This is the last place corn bought, so that I rejected. Now, we'll notice that corn has cleared it. Corn has cleared that high point. So what will happen? It's very possible that once again, we expect corn to do some level of retracement. We expect corn to fall all the way down to other block zones or fair value gap zones, from where we now expect that corn will buy back. So we have areas like this for which we can look out for corn returning to the upside. Now, what does that mean? Right? First of all, I want to say, before I explain further, I want to explain that, when you're trading instruments like this, I personally do not advise people to even I don't advise people to use pending orders. I don't advise people to use to trade high impact news and all that, because I feel that you can be more consistent in your profits when you trade technically. Now, when it comes to corn, in fact, I will not advise that you trade it with pending orders. I don't advise that you trade it with buy stop, sell stop. No. Okay, because the risk is quite high. The risk is quite high, and just trading the market, trying to be profitable just based on pending orders alone, is not a consistent way to be successful in this market. So what I would advise is that you actually, if you're trading corn, you want to take this trade, you need to make sure that, first of all, you have the needed funds. That's number one. Number one, to trade agro-commodity, you need to have the needed funds. There was a time when we said that to trade agro-commodity, it's safe for you to have at least ₦1 million. But that was even when dollar was around 1, 2 or thereabouts. Given the current rate of the dollar, I would personally know, I would say you want to trade agro-commodity and be successful in it, you know, you can even make, or you can even trade with at least 2 million to 3 million, knowing that one pip with a standard lot, although you can't even do one standard lot with 3 million naira, but one pip with a standard lot can give you 700,000. So that means that if I'm even doing 0.1, I can be able to make 70,000 naira per pip. I can be able to make 70,000 naira per pip. And if I make 2 pips or 3 pips, I'm fine. You understand? So what I will do is, considering how we have an inverted hammer on this place here to show a bearish reversal, okay, I will not advise a buy at this point, but if I'm buying, I will expect price to return all the way down. I will expect price to return all the way down to cover some of these other blocks, and then I can take advantage of that buy. Another opportunity I can do is that this is corn on 4 hours, right? This is corn on 4 hours, and if you check, the last candle ended as an inverted hammer. The last candle ended as an inverted candle. So what does that mean? It means I'm watching this current candle. Once this current candle can close bearish, anything that makes this current candle is this candle is currently bullish, right? Anything that makes this candle to close bearish, it will confirm this inverted hammer, and I can now be able to take advantage of a sell at least till those fair value gap zone, right? So the idea is this. This is a summary of what I'm saying for corn. Corn is on an uptrend, but we have seen that the pattern of corn is after it makes a new high, it retraces back before it makes another high. So now that it has made a new high, it's very possible that we have corn retracing. And we said to retrace, to take advantage of that retrace, let the current candle close bearish. If the current candle closes bearish, it confirms the inverted hammer that we have on the 4 hours time frame. Right? We said another thing is that to take advantage of this buy, we can wait for corn to retrace back to the fair value gaps around this point. For those persons who do not have an idea of fair value gap, have an idea of other blocks, we hold special trainings like this. I think we did one last quarter. We're going to hold another one very soon, so you'll be informed once that those classes are holding up. But you can also check our YouTube channel. You can check our YouTube channel. We have introductory topics, or we did introduction into market structure. We did introduction into fair value gaps and other blocks and all that. So you can take advantage of that. Okay, but that is how I will be looking at corn. Okay, so this agro-commodity, what we do is try and analyze agro assets, right? So let's look at wheat. I've looked at corn, let's look at wheat. Now, most times corn and wheat, you know, not exactly the same, but you generally follow kind of the same pattern because their uses are quite similar. Okay, the use of corn is very similar to the use of wheat. Okay, so what we have noticed is that after a while, this is daily time frame. This one here is weekly time frame, right? Wheat has really sold on the weekly time frame. After we bought, wheat sold and came back to this support, which it was rejected at. There was a lot of rejection on this support here, right? And wheat has rejected this point here. Return by rejected this point. So it tells us that there's a high chance that that bullish move will likely continue on wheat, just like we expect a bullish move for corn, but we're now talking about where to enter that bullish move, right? And that's the case also with wheat, where, look at it now, wheat has been at this point here giving us lower lows, giving us lower lows, giving us lower lows. And you'll notice that just like corn, anytime it gives a lower low, it tries to retrace, cover fair value gaps and sell, cover fair value gap and sell, cover fair value gap and sell. Now it broke this particular zone. Let me mark it so that you can see it. What wheat did was to break this zone. It broke this zone and came down, right? It broke this zone and came down. And from there, it retraced, okay? Retraced and sold. Retraced and sold, right? Now, what is corn doing? From the, wheat. From this particular point here, you see that wheat is now at a point where it's like a resistance point, and that is this zone here. Look at this place. This place, why are we saying this is a resistance point? Because the last time that wheat was here, when we tried to buy to this place, something pushed it back down, and now it is here again. And since it is here, we still have the last candle close as an inverted hammer. We have the last candle close as an inverted hammer. So there is a pointer that there could actually be bearish pressure in this market. There could be bearish pressure in this market, and that is especially when this current candle is bullish. This current candle, somehow, if the market can close bearish, then it will confirm that sell for us to take advantage of, to confirm the sell. But if price can break this particular zone, if price can actually break this particular zone, that means price can trade above it and close above it. Price can trade above it and close above it. Then we expect wheat to actually begin buying. We expect wheat to actually begin buying. Remember what I said, when it comes to wheat is currently at a resistance. And that resistance it is at, it has already given an inverted hammer. Okay? So there's a high chance that it can sell further. There's a high chance that I can sell for that, especially when the current candle closes bearish. When the current candle closes bearish, then that will confirm that inverted hammer that we have. That will confirm it. You understand? So what we need to do is to wait and see how this current candle. Remember, when it comes to corn, when it comes to wheat, when you're talking about trading it, I am not talking to those persons who have 100,000. I'm not talking to those persons who have 500,000 in their account. This asset, when it comes to agro-commodity, is very much capital intensive and can be very, very rewarding if you have good funds. Okay, if you can be very, very rewarding if you have good funds, because you can achieve a lot. When it comes to wheat, for example, a standard lot is around 620,000 naira per pip. One standard lot is around 620. That means that 0.1 is around 60 something thousand naira. You understand? So that's it. So when it comes to profitable instruments, we have corn, we have wheat, we have soya beans, we have coffee. And today we have looked at corn, we have looked at wheat. These two instruments are giving us a candle pattern that we are expecting them to retrace. Currently, we are expecting them to sell, but they are on uptrend. Corn, for example, is on a clear uptrend, and that sell is a level of retracement to a point where from there it can start pushing up. And that is also the same thing for wheat. If this retracement happens, this retracement may likely happen to somewhere around here, from which you now expect maybe a level of buy in the market. Okay, but we have inverted hammer on wheat. We have an inverted hammer on wheat. We also have an inverted hammer on corn. Look at this, on 4 hours we have an inverted hammer. Look at that. Look at that now, inverted hammer again on corn. On corn we have inverted hammer. On wheat we have inverted hammer. So that tells us that we could be looking out to take advantage of a sell in this market. And that thing you can do, is that some of this market that we're expecting a sell to happen now, you can begin to follow it on a smaller time frame, like 15 minutes. What do I mean? I mean that once price begins to give you lower low, it confirms it. Okay, so this 15 minutes says somehow price closes below this particular point and gives us lower lows, then it could confirm that retracement that we're expecting, that retracement we are expecting, where it could actually begin to happen on you can see it earlier on 15 minutes. So the retracement will happen on 4 hours can actually start earlier on 15 minutes. Okay, do not forget, when it comes to agro-commodity, I do not advise you to trade agro-commodities with pending orders. It's quite risky. The best way to trade it is to use technical analysis. Okay, to be patient, to have your support, your resistance zone, where when price breaks it, you are able to take advantage of the market with proper risk management. Okay, so when it comes to agro commodities for this week, we have looked at corn, we have looked at wheat. Both of them, once again, I'm saying this for the sake of emphasis, both of them has given us inverted hammer within the last 4 hours. Inverted hammer each. An inverted hammer show us a negative or a bearish momentum, especially when the inverted hammer is at the top. It tells us there is a bearish momentum, right? So we expect a sell, but we're waiting for the next or the current candles to close bearish to confirm it. Okay, we expect to close bearish for us to actually confirm that sell. So when it closes bearish, of course, we'll be able to take advantage of this sell. Now, during the course of this training, I mentioned some things like order block. I mentioned some things like fair value gap. If you do not understand those, you can go to our YouTube channel. We have topics that have addressed those points, okay? But we are still going to be having a special class. We're going to be having a special class where we're going to talk in depth on things like order block, on things like fair value gap. That's an other smart money concept topics. Okay, so that is that. Like I told us, it's not something that's going to take time. Tomorrow we are going to be having a session like this, but that one will be on indices. We're going to be having a session tomorrow, but that session will be on indices. So the way we are going to do it is that we'll be having regular programs on agro commodities, we'll be having on indices. Okay, so be having on Agro-Commodity on this. So you can join us tomorrow. Yes, you can join us tomorrow with this same link. With this same link by 2 p.m. Join us tomorrow with this same link by 2 p.m. Let's just do analysis for the week on the index market. Okay, and let's on the weekend index market. And then classes like this will be going on from time to time. Okay, classes like this will be going on from time to time where we will come and trying to get the projection of. So the next time we're going to have a session is the next time we're going to look at agro commodities on Thursday. Next time we're going to look at agro commodities on Thursday. So make sure you join us with this same link on Thursday. But we'll be holding indices training with this same link tomorrow. You understand? Okay. Okay. I think Marga wants to address us. Oh, okay. Um, So what we'll do is we'll be picking those instruments. I think on Thursday we'll still be having agro commodities. So that Thursday we are still going to look at some other instruments. Like I said, we have coffee, we have cocoa, we have sugar, we have and all that. So looking at I want us to really work with and very consider look at corn, look at wheat as we have analyzed, right? Look at corn, look at wheat, right? So if somehow price also starts trading above this rejection, then okay, maybe we can look for a buy. But notice from the pattern of corn, from the pattern of wheat that anytime it crosses, makes a new high, it tends to retrace. Okay, and then the last candle closed as an inverted hammer. So we are waiting for this next candle on 4 hours. We're waiting for the next candle to actually close bearish also, or for the market to start selling below that particular inverted hammer. Once it does that, we now expect a further sell. So we have that for corn, we have that for wheat. Okay, so that you also need to be. But now when it comes to this instrument also, let me say that some of these instruments have open and close time, sometimes during the day also. So you to be sure of it, if you're using your system, you can just go right click on corn, right click on the instrument and click on specification. right click on the instrument and select specification. So if you select specification, you can see their open and close time. Look at it. Mondays 1:05 to 1:45. So the next market will open by 2:35. By 2:35 now, this market will open again. Okay, 2:35, this market will open again. Okay, so these are information. So the market begins open, or it begins trading by 1 a.m. 1 a.m. the market opens, right? From 1 a.m. to 1:45 p.m. Okay, 1:45 p.m. From 1:45 p.m. The market will close, then will resume by 2:35. Okay, 2:35. And I think, yeah, because of we're currently in daylight savings, right? We're currently in daylight savings. So that's 1:35. Yes, we're on daylight savings. So this is GMT. So that is going to be by 2:35. Sorry, 3:35. You understand? So this is GMT. So if you see, for instance, let's look at cocoa specification. Look at cocoa now. Cocoa opens 9:45 a.m. to 6:30. 9:45 to 6:30. That's how cocoa trades. 9:45 to 6:30 every day. 9:45 from Monday to Friday. So each of these things have their trading time, and you need to be aware of it. So you go to the instrument you want to trade on, you right click on it. Okay, you right click on it. For instance, on wheat, I right click on it and I go to specification. Specification will show me the open and close period of this market. You understand? Show me the open and close period of this market from 1:05 to 1:45. And then from it now, it closes by 1:45 in the afternoon and then opens again by 2:35. Okay, by 2:35. And then it starts trading from that place, from that point. You understand? So let's make sure that we keep the, but remember, be very much interested in the behavior of this instrument on smaller time frames also. But if somehow we can have a rejection also, price confirms the bearish candle, then for corn and for wheat we might just be seeing the beginning of that retracement to a point where we can buy corn. Okay, the point where we can buy corn. But yes, corn and wheat are on uptrends. The most important thing is just to decide where to buy them from. Okay, so yes, I think that. We will continue again Thursday. Don't forget this, with this link, tomorrow by 2 o'clock, 2 in the afternoon, we'll be looking at indices. So we'll consider US 100, D40, US 2000, US 30, like that. We'll look at them, do some little analysis on them, and then on Thursday again, we'll be back to Agro-Commodity. Okay. Yes, so that is that about that. Okay. Yeah, I think that's as much you can take. Thank you so much for your time. We try to take two instruments so that you do not have so much information. Also, please do not forget, I'm saying this for emphasis sake, you need good volume to trade this instrument. We also have people who, personally, I have people who I give analysis on instruments like this from time to time. But my own is that you should not be trading with anything less than 2 million, 3 million, because I understand that as profitable as it is very risky for accounts with small sizes. You understand? So I really hope we understand that. Thank you so much. If you need to reach out for any questions, you need personal analysis on something like this, on this Agro-Commodity, for example, I will just number drop my number so you can reach out to me on WhatsApp. Please just reach out to me, just send me a text on WhatsApp instead of call. I prefer WhatsApp, then we will talk from there. Okay. But thank you so much for your time, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.